my friends, it's your friend Kevin here with your Divine Daily Blast. And I should say before I continue, this is the second take. Remember the other day I had another issue where I had to do it twice? It's happened again. My microphone just was not recording. So I've had to start again. And you know what? It's a shame because I was on a roll with all of this and I was getting into a groove. And I keep looking at the screen to make sure everything is working the way it's supposed to work. Let's get right to it. Enough about having technical difficulties. We are in a number 5 adventurous mode. I call this adventurous because I think it feels like we're in an adventurous ditch at the moment. Like we're in this channel of manifesting and making things happen. The moon has moved into Libra. And the fiery planet of Mars is aligning quite nicely with it. So any emotions that you're feeling, be charged up and you will tackle something important. The skies are fully open for you to achieve it. I am singing the song I came here to sing. This is an affirmation that I garnered from a reading I got from the wonderful Janet Hatch. Go to Angels by Janet if you want to get a personal reading from her. I am magnificent and I magnificently manifest my future right now. You have to declare, I'm terrific, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, I'm magnificent, I'm unbelievable. If you're not declaring it, it's not happening. Some of us have a challenge by saying, I'm magnificent, the world is my oyster, I can do whatever I want. At any age you want to do it. At any point in your life that you want to do it, go create it. Now, there is a challenge when it comes to other people, particularly if you've been playing an important role in their life. To them, our loved ones, the ones that care about us, the ones that want us to do whatever they want us to do, whenever they want us to do it. You see my drift? If they really are for the highest good of all, they're going to be a champion for whatever you're up for. They're going to hold your hand and your heart when it feels like there's a dark hole down here. Likely because you've done the same thing for them at some point in their life. You get it? Together, we rise. On our own, we're pretty dynamic, but together we're unstoppable. And it's that unstoppable energy that makes us magnificent. So think about the times in your life where you have manifested something that you weren't expecting or maybe didn't think would happen and it did. Then that reminds you of how magical a manifester you really are. I'm a beautiful soul on a cosmic journey, fully and completely supported and loved by the universe. The first bit is pretty easy to affirm. The second bit can be a challenge. To feel completely supported and loved by the universe. Well, many of us have a challenge with what is the universe? Who is that? How does that happen? So it starts off with the belief that it's possible, or the belief that it exists, or the belief that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, even if you're not really sure where that is. That's where a number 5 adventure comes into. You know, yesterday in the world, a new pope was elected. A little over 24 hours after they went on the conclave. And I watched a very small interview with his birth brother. And it was quite a candid conversation. Because I've got a sense of humor, one of my clients yesterday morning said to me, well, how long do you think this conclave is going to last? No, not too long. And their comment was, really? Is that psychic? I said, no, it's practical. You take away people's cell phones and their magical devices and they have to be locked up in a room, served food that has to be checked to see whether or not it's been poisoned. That doesn't take long to come to a vote. Hurry up, let's get on with this. I got to check my emails. And then whoosh, a few hours later, here comes this new pope, Leo the 14th, I think he is. I think that's what he's called himself. And, you know, being a layperson that I am, I find it quite interesting that folks in leadership, or at least kings, queens, monarchs, religious leaders, have the ability to change their name. Well, I think everybody has the ability to change their name. They don't like the name they've got, they change it. It's kind of interesting, but it does change the rhythmic vibration. You know, when you take on a different name, you add up to a different numerological number. Quite fascinating. This is where we get adventurous with our changes. What changes are we wanting to make, and what kind of adventure will that take us on? The Archangel affirmation card today is from Jeremiah. Call upon me, the mercy of God, for forgiveness, so you can move forward and make choices uninhibited by the past. I release the past with gratitude and forgiveness. I joyfully create the future of my dreams. I was sharing in the first take of this before I had to redo it. Gratitude is something that's ongoing. The higher my level of gratitude, the more I get to be grateful for. And that is, hand on heart, the truth. I haven't always done that. I haven't always been aware of the fact that I really need to be more grateful. But it's true. Things have turned around. I think at the beginning of the year, which wasn't that long ago, I came to the realization that I got to tell a different story. The story I was telling was peppered and laced with holes of doubt, holes of fear, holes of, debauchery, holes of failure, holes of all these holes in this story. And that was the lesson, to realize what this is, the story that I'm telling, and why am I telling it? No big dramatic change, just change the story. Mayat is with us, which goes along with this message, divine intervention, weighing up the options, choosing the highest good. Whenever I'm making a big decision about something, number one, is this for my greater good, or am I being a little bit egoic and I'm choosing something because my ego says I want it more than somebody else wants it? That's not a good reason to want it. If I'm choosing something that would benefit me, and who else is this going to benefit? How many people can benefit from the choice I'm making here? That's choosing something with integrity. That's divine intervention working. It's like the law of compensation, the divine law of compensation, I should have said. When you do your work, and you do your work with purpose, you deserve to get paid. But yet some of us in a spiritual realm feel like our gifts are supposed to be given away for free. No. And when somebody perhaps frowns upon paying for your time, whatever that looks like, or maybe they didn't get exactly what they wanted from you, if you're doing a reading, if you're a spiritualist, well, that's not on you, it's on them. Our water guardian's been with us all week long, managing our emotions, telling us to let them flow, let them go, and seeing that we came up with Jeremiah's message about forgiveness. Well, we have to forgive if we want to heal. If there's a burden that's heavy on your heart that needs to be cleared, where do you find the forgiveness? Where is the forgiveness? Because the healing comes right up after it. Usually the forgiveness is with ourselves. All right, Gertrude and Beatrice are sitting on the edge of their little woodland or their little forest. I checked in with them, and when they were looking out on their vista or their view, they were seeing this fiery red sunrise, the energy of the fire, the moon, the Mars. They were basically looking at the adventure of creating something new and something different. Okay, Gertrude, Beatrice, I'm shuffling these cards. Now I'm fanning them out. Would you please help choose a card and then bring a blessing that goes with it? There's the card. Okay, got it. Thank you. Okay. Strength. Now, I'm saying this is the blessing of strength, but this is also a miracle to help us guide us through these changes. We see our fairy, princess, riding Leo the lion underneath this healing waterfall. And the message that they're telling me to pass along to you is that integrity And authenticity requires courage. And they're here to bring you the strength to move through the emotions of forgiveness, the emotions of healing, and to bring you the strength to do it all. We also can't do this on our own. We can't do it by ourselves. Manifest strength by calling in your inner beings, your higher self, your outer resources like your guardian angels, your archangels, your spirit guides, and your ancestors to let you move through any obstacles that's coming. The affirmations the fairies are giving us is I am strong and able to face the challenges that come my way. Strength is my default setting. I got something I can add to that. Love is my compass needle. That's where my North Star is. Joy is right there. Harmony is right there. Balance is right there. But love is kind of at the top. So strength can be a component of it, because I got to go through some of those bumpy rides. But just like Jeremiah says, we have to release the past with gratitude. The quickest way I learned how to release the past so that you're not stepping into the ditch of grudges was to, first of all, acknowledge it's happened, it's done. Can't change something that's already occurred. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, what did I learn? And how did this lesson serve me? If I learned it wasn't really a good choice, but it wasn't necessarily wasn't intentional to hurt anyone, upset anyone, or get into a fracas with anybody, then that's a lesson I learned. Because now I'm going to remember that lesson and not repeat it. Yeah, that's all that's coming up for me right now. All right, my friends, that's it from me for today. I will see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. Don't forget, tomorrow night is tomorrow night. Yeah, the 10th of May. John Mothershead and I are hosting an angel party. It's actually his angel party that I'm co-hosting with him as an invited guest, which I'm grateful for. And this will be about authenticity. I like how John chooses themes and subject matter to guide the readings and guide the cards. Otherwise, it's just a general tell me what they need me to know. I like that. I like having that baseline of authenticity, what it looks like. All right, my friends, till tomorrow. Thanks. Bye for now.